Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Am I audible? Yes. Yeah. My name is Irshad. I am from India and I came here a year back. I work with IT. I've got like 14 years of experience into IT and specifically into the jargons going around. Like the letters go all the way towards up to AI, but I am on the third letter of probably. I worked on business intelligence, I worked on data analytics, I worked on a little bit of machine learning, worked on, worked on a little bit of, or read about AI. Everybody is now interacting with AI and stuff. But to tell you about how I started, I don't know. Nobody knows. Somebody probably taught me to get into IT, computer science, and stuff. But how I actually started, when we are studying, we don't feel like we want to get into IT. We don't feel like we want to get into probably car manufacturing. We don't know. It's a gradual process, step by step. You climb one ladder, you study, you get graduated, you take degree, and then you look for a job in what you are learning or what you have learned in your graduation. And that's how I did. Start slow, don't know where to go, but there were people who taught me a couple of things, and that's what I'm here for. What I have learned, I would like to share, contribute towards community, so that together they will learn and grow with me. So I think I've started back in Asia, India, my career, and then traveled a couple of Asian countries like Australia, Singapore, South Korea. South Korea was a quite experience. I never heard that South Korea will go in IT. Everybody works in IT, go to West. West is US. And the technology starts from there. Any new technology. ChatGPT from where it started. Started from US. Right? And then all the way go down to other countries. So it's been 14 years and quite a journey. I have a lot of experience. I can talk for hours and stuff. I'll keep it short. So this session is about career, how to start a career, how to get entry, how to get into IT, and then scale up the ladder. And then IT is like everywhere. Even if you're not, if you're from mechanical, you're somewhere, somewhat connected to IT. And I feel that this is the right time to get into IT. And then so this session is basically that how one can start entering into IT and then how one can excel into IT. We're not saying that we're going to provide you a training. We're going to provide you a platform. We're going to provide you resources. And then we're going to vet you guys at whether you are in the right direction or probably thinking. Sometimes I do get doubts. Whether 14 years down the line, am I on the right track? And then I get some news, which I can relate. Oh, all right, yes. This is what I'm doing. This is exactly I'm building a software, I'm building a product, which is impacting life, or which probably you are using, or you're using. Or I do watch soccer, or I do watch tennis. Is it related to IT? Somewhat the other way. These days, everything is connected to IT, and that's what we probably are here for. That whether I should go into IT or am I connected to IT? Should I do that? I shouldn't be doing that and stuff. And then, like I'm talking about, IT is everywhere. IT is in healthcare. IT is in banking. IT is in automobile. Tesla. Tesla is not a car to me. Tesla is an IT product, a toy which runs on IT. And probably this is what I am trying to put you into that place that you want to get into IT. Yes, no, maybe or not, but you are connected to IT. There are multiple streams. I've called out a couple of education, government, a couple of industries, but there are many industries where IT is involved. And then this one is very important. That what we are gonna do, how we will help you with our expertise of 14 years and a couple of other members in our community with 17 years, 20 years of experience, where we are going to help you out. These are like 5 steps, can be more, but yeah, we're trying to find it. Step one, identification, knowing yourself, know who you are. When I watch something or when I read something, I feel that this is who I am. When I watch, currently I let me take the Tesla example. When I see Tesla, all right, how the navigation is working, how Tesla takes turns, how automatically it takes. I relate sometimes, but then I get doubts with whether I have done something like this. Yes, no, maybe. Um, so that's where the identification comes. And whether I should go into one stream, whether I should go into another stream, or whether I should become a software development or a product developer or a data analytics guy or a machine learning algorithmic guy or probably an artificial intelligence engineer, AI engineer. Who should I become? So that's part where we come and we suggest it. We want to maybe want to get into programming, Python programming, Java programming, eventually. But why should I be a programmer? Do I know certain parameters? Do I like mathematics? Nobody knows. I never knew. I think quite 6, 7, 8, 9 years back that math is important for programming. But now I relate it. And then at the same time, data analytics. Why should I become a data analytics engineer or a data engineer? What is the difference between data engineer and a data analytics engineer? What is the difference between these words? May be sounding a little bit off to you guys, but trust me, these are the positions or these are the roles available in the market. And then we get confused. I do get confused. Data, anything data is like related to data. Data engineer, yes. I will be data engineer and then change data analytics engineer. No, yes, maybe. So that's where identification comes. So we probably talk to people. We have given few more sessions in other budgets, and we talk to people. We vet them. We identify that what probably your goals are, core capabilities are, or how you want to scale up the ladder. You're starting right. You're starting slow, but at the same time, are you? Do you want to be what you want to be? That's where identification comes, and then learning the courses. So earlier, before pandemic, how it used to happen was that we had online classes very rarely, but we had like classroom training. But post pandemic, what happened? Things have changed so rapidly in 2 years. Everything is online. People don't want to. Maybe people want to be sitting on a rooftop, sipping a coffee and studying on mobile. So that's how things have changed. So these online courses, and there are a lot of free resources available. I think one of the quotes said by Elon Musk was, "You don't need to go to school. You don't need to go to college." Or I'm not saying that don't go, go definitely, but he said that there are ample resources available online. YouTube is one. The free courses available online, and that's where it comes. Right? Learn the courses, get certified, and then step 4 again we come into picture. You certified, we've understood that what you want to do, you've learned it, you provide the resources. We have industry experts who have churned out a couple of courses, free courses, which have very good reviews. This is like saying on specific what you want to learn. That exact course is on YouTube. YouTube internet has a lot of content. You get confused. I myself, I think I've spent years reading this and then later realize that this video is not good. I should watch this video. But this content is not good. I should not. Oh, this is what I want. And that's where we carved out specific courses. And that course is we are going to provide on a self-learning basis on your time. And one thing I usually call out to everyone, that no matter what you do, whatever, one thing is very important, is consistency. If you're consistent, you spend 10 minutes, 15 minutes every day. every day. Start slow, very slow. I myself sometimes get it. I used to read books, but I stopped it and then I started again. I myself, when I start, I used to read book like for 4 hours, one book, done. But then I lost track, and then I started again. But that time I thought that I read the book for 1 hour. I couldn't make it, and that's where I say that start with 5 minutes every day. Consistency is the key. If you are consistent, you'll crack it. You'll touch the sky, and that's how it works. Go back. So the next slide I'm probably going to talk about, but I basically want to ask everyone that have you heard about revolution? So started way back in 1970, industrial revolution 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Which revolution we are into? You might have seen the slide, but you know it. But let's see which industrial revolution we are into right now. We are into fourth industrial revolution. Which what does it mean? The first, second, third, fourth. Figure it out. Which is first and third, second, third, fourth. But basically, first was where we where America or anyone used to take goods and supply it through trains, and then they manufacture it manually. And that was Industrial Revolution one. And then two, they started little bit automation, all that stuff. And then Industrial Revolution three was more automated programming to do manufacture. And the fourth was probably everyone is watching Tesla, and that's the reason I'm taking that example. How Tesla is being made, you guys know that? No manual intervention. Car is getting made without no manual intervention. Wow. That is the fourth industrial revolution. Smart factories, that's what they call it. Autonomous systems. Just think about it, where IT knowingly, unknowingly getting injected. Like knowingly, unknowingly, you got vaccinated, some of it. Right? That's the same way. So we are in the industrial revolution 4, and this is the right time to bring on get into IT. Not because I'm into IT, but because you are knowingly, unknowingly getting inside IT. So that's where we are. And then this one is how the presence is of the IT in the market, how US is. When I was back in India, everybody used to talk about that how the idea starts. Where should you see yourself? Where you want to go? Or where is the land of opportunity? What is the name of the country which is the land of the opportunity in IT? That's United States of America. That's where you are. If we are already here, we are knowingly unknowingly connected to IT. We have several resources. Might as well get into IT and see what can we do, how how up we can grow. There are industries, there are many things, hardware, software, services, infrastructures, digital businesses, many, many more. You can get into IT. Next slide. And this is more or less pulled up from the Indeed.com and couple of stats. Like I said, I'm from a data analytics side. I talk with the facts. These are the facts. How much you can earn, how less you can earn. The starter is like 50K, 55K, 65K you can earn. And it can go up to 120. This is an average salary. The higher limit is sky. I think 2 days or 5 days or a couple of weeks back, I saw one job for a data engineer. You know, data engineer is like basic infrastructure on a cloud or stuff like that, just maintaining the infrastructure on cloud for data. And the job says the lower limit is 250K and the higher limit is $1,200K per year. 1,200K. I was like, wow. And then I give 1.2 million. Yeah, 1.2 million. I was studying, when I was studying, I thought that I think 100K is the limit or 200K is the limit. But then when I started my journey, I thought 500K is the limit. And then 2, 3 days or a week back, I'll probably show you after the session the job description. You'll see them. What they ask, you have a certification, have you done any course? They don't ask, you have a bachelor's degree. They don't ask, you have some flashy. certificate, couple of certification, and a little bit of understanding in IT. And are you focused? That's what these companies look for these days. Are you focused? You make plan and you work on the plans. You consistent with couple of technological jargons. And then I keep digging that job. And you know what I found? I found 1.6 million. And then so we think that 1.2 million, 1.6 million, or a 2 million job roles are senior director, vice president. I was shocked looking at it. It was L5 role, level 5 role of a data engineer, data massaging engineer, or probably a strategy analyst who, who pulls up Excel, makes some analysis, and then good to go. If you'll try 10, 15, 20 analysis on your own, you'll be up to that level. And then you just have to learn the jargon because you're confident that I can massage, I can do analysis of the data. This is just a basic stat, upper limit and lower limit. And then that's where my part ends. And I would like to invite Azhar. Azhar is basically a senior program manager in LTI. I met him where I stay. He's like program manager leading the team, doing some data quality stuff. And I think one key quality he has is precision, the accuracy. What he talks, he knows is clear. So with that note, I think I'll just pass this further.
Assalamualaikum. And Jazakallah, Fazil Irshad, thank you for a wonderful introduction and also for enlightening everyone with his experience. So, as Brother Irshad says, I am a mostly in data, but also leading a data program for LTI Mindtree, and which is a consulting company, and we serve a lot of multiple clients, but my client is Citibank, and I have been serving in the US for around 7 years now. But if you talk about my journey, I started back in India, similar to Brother Irshad, where we started as a program analyst, which we call like a programmer, basically. My company first was Centel, and we started in 2 month course training where we used to talk about how software is like. So basically, whenever we are entering or we are talking, especially for newbies, like what software is what now, we have a lot of articles. We have Google. Even if you're curious about it, you can search. But back in those days, it was like 2006. So my background, I have completed bachelor's in electrical engineering. So I had no sense going to IT, nothing. Even my friends used to ask me like, "You're completing degree in electric, and how are you gonna go in IT?" Because I'm going with wires and fans, electricals, and all those things. And back in those days, the ambition for the electrical was to take a government job in a state government and live your life out. Are you going to go in private? Sure, because private has a lot of pressure and expectation. So I got selected in the college luckily, so that's why I just said Bismillah and stepped on it. So it was a very roller coaster journey. So it was things were not easy for me because having worked in a very different curriculum and industry, coming to IT, it's mostly logic. So you have to relate and have imagination. That's what programming used to be like. You have to imagine ahead, like visualize things, how it will behave, and all and all. So these things are taught to us not elaborately, but yeah, in mathematics or in science and physics, we do calculations, we do programs, we have steps, we write steps for math, solving problems. So all everything like our brother Richard said, right? Math, science. So these are all interconnected and inherently a part of our education, but we start to realize all these are helping us. Uh, it's like a abstract way, like how the forces or the angels help us in our real life by Allah, right? So similarly, these things also they are inculcated in our into our education system. So they help us, but we do not realize. So that is how it is. So again, when we want to see how the jobs are and all, we don't really get what you can say scared by the term ID and all, because although it is like that, and there may be difficulties, but the main thing about this is you're never going to lose. So there was a famous quote by the uh, famous president Nelson Mandela. So he said that I never lose. I either win or I learn. So that's what even I can tell from my real life experience. Like when I went into IT, it was so difficult for me. Like I almost quit the job after say 3 months or 4 months, because, as I said, the programming was pretty foreign to me, and I was not able to do it. But the main thing here, which you need to survive or to make it in here, is your willpower and your belief. So even if it's new to you, even anything, if you believe you can, then you have to definitely achieve it. How is by dedicating yourself and focusing and trying, never stop trying. That is the most important thing. Even now, for example, you guys here, I see myself or young guys, your students. I am assuming you're learning. So you guys also never had an idea what curriculum or anything what you're going to study or you're going to do. Most of the guys they plan for something else, but they not necessarily land it, right? So some of them are blessed to plan it and achieve it, but not everybody is fortunate in that. So what you have to do is you never give up on those what you want to do. You learn, and then from there onwards, you you will definitely get those grips of it, like how you want to do. So again, I started as a programmer, but not necessarily that IT is only about programming. There are different jobs, different roles that are not really necessarily technical. So we, as how we want to break it down, like what kind of skills you need, not necessarily technical. So that's what we came up with these four questions. Like, are you always curious about how things work? Like as we say, we are surrounded by technologies like mobile phones, the advanced cars, even in the website, like when you open up any page, any banking page or any portal page where you want to say search about any insurance or something or any car, so there automatically a pop-up comes up, right? Are you interested to buy a car or are you interested in this product? Hi, I'm well, or if you're looking for an airline ticket, automatically a pop. So that is called a chat bot, like an interactive bot. So that is automatically. How is it coming? So those are all part of an idea, and you are interacting with. You are giving the data. You're giving the information to that. So that is a system that is built. So have you been curious about that? Like how does this pop up? How does this interact with me? How does it know my answer and automatically respond to it? So all these are the questions. If you know, you are curious about it, then you are basically related and could be doing that kind of a job in IT. So as we said, these are the couple of skills, not necessarily as I said, basic math and then kind of problem solving skills and documentation. And you might all be using your college work, school work. Now even schools are giving laptops and computers. You are using Microsoft Office, so Word, Excel, PowerPoint. So all these are of course used in office in commercial purpose. Then one of the important things in all these are specialist tools, but among all these is not there. But the most important thing here is communication. So if you cannot communicate what you are doing or what you are understanding to the client or to your manager or to your peer, then it's basically that nobody's going to understand you. So even if you build a huge car or a spaceship which is going to do wonders to the world, but you're not able to explain or you're not able to tell. So there will be you'll require help. It's not that you're going to fail. You'll require help. So there will be different people to help, and they may be able to help. But the problem main is you have to communicate. So these skills are fortes which you need for different parts of the world. Like basic math will be helping in programming, Excel will be in reporting, and then account management will be in your salary calculations, or who gives our paychecks or something. Graphical representation, you see fancy pictures, you see nice graphs like which you showed in his Excel, like how the salaries are, different charts, how the annual population is, how the wages are, how the for example now the elections are coming, right? So who is going to be becoming the next, who has the greatest chance of becoming the president, what the polls are in different states, how the reaction is. So those kind of all are graphical representation. Scoreboard tracking, you guys maybe if you are watching sports or say music or anything, whatever it is. So there are different charts like how the teams are doing, how the person does, how they are scoring, in what minute they can score, how they can perform. So all these are scoreboard. Yeah. So these are the basic slides or the jobs which we have. We are here talking or focusing mostly about the jobs which are mostly related to entry level, because most of the guys which we are starting when we complete our graduation and all these are entry level. So computer support specialist. So if you are calling for some support in your internet or say for your mobile phone, so what you call the AT&T, okay, hey, my phone bill is suddenly shot up to say double the amount. What's the problem? So they ask you for certain questions like, hey, what's your number? Can I have the security? So all these have, and then they will be, you'll be asking for why is the bill so and so. So they have a database at the back end. They check your number, they fire up your all the records. That is the system built for them, and they bring up the records and they are able to resolve your query. So that those are the support specialists. That is one of the job which is usually able to what they do. So when you spoke with them, they are greeting you courteously. That is part of communication. Secondly, they are able to ask you the questions. They get that. So that is the information they are taking from. So listening skills. Then they are able to key in that and put the data. So they are able to operate the data. So these are the basic skills they need. And of course, the industry they are related to. So when we say AT&T, it's a telephone or mobile company. Similarly, if you're calling for a dish or say appliance thing, so that domain related little bit of information which everybody is being given when they are introduced into the company. They have the induction program. So that is all being taught. So no need to be scared or anything when we are going there. Everything is designed for you to perform. Similarly, the next category is data analyst. So I think Brother Richard spoke a lot about data because he is also in data, and we are also myself doing a lot of work related to data. So now the data is like golden rules, because every company in today's environment is data driven. They are focused on data. You name any company, they are driving or strategically thinking based upon data. So anything, any decision they want, they need to see the statistics for the past. So even you are doing, for example, even before leaving the house, you are checking the weather. How's the weather? Is it cloudy? Do I need to take an umbrella? Do I need to take a jacket? Is it very hot? Do I need to put on some casual clothes? So how does the data arrive? So they have done years and years of data, predicting and forecasting and everything for the years, and then from that they are giving us the prediction. It does not have to be accurate, but it gives us a visualization how things can be. So that is all data analysis they have to. So all this information combined, one of the piece of the puzzle, data analyst does. He goes into the database or picks up the data, massages what we need and all. Little bit of medium skill level qualification is required, mostly working with Excel and numbers. And of of course, we also see the salaries which are starting at. It does not have to be in this state, but we pulled out the number based on average US salary for different. So 50K for computer and junior data we have. But this is just the entry. You can only imagine if you crack the data analysis. As I said, it's the golden rule. If you are really good in data and you get the hang of it, then sky is the limit. Because as he has been doing a lot of research in the job, so half a million, 1 million is just the peak of it. So then next is the help desk analysis. So here also there are a lot of still people here which do not know about computer, like the people who are not really in the after the 2000s, or now we are much familiar with the computer, but the guys who were born in the 50s, 60s, 70s, they were not familiar with. So for them, if they want to help with the operating of the IT or the information of how to use the website, how to use their product, so all these things they need. So this is something where the employees of the organization, they help how to go and order a product, or how to change their system or their settings. So all these related to the website or their particular application, the help desk are there. So it's something which is good to have, who does not have much degree or information about IT. But gradually, my thinking or my belief is these kind of roles where help-based roles are, it's good to have, but slowly or surely AI or artificial intelligence will be taking over these kind of mundane, repetitive jobs. So most of the our focus, if you want to go in IT, should be try to be something where your input, your intelligence, or your skills are being utilized. Now comes with the computer programmer. As I said in the beginning, like I started as a programmer, so a lot of programming skills. But now even the programming has been so advanced based upon how people have developed. Because IT industry, one thing you have to know, always keep it. Its change is always a constant. So one thing is gonna be always there is change. So today we are talking here. In the next year, somebody has built a language, or somebody has even uh, built a new system that has been tested, or it's already released. So now we are talking about ChatGPT, but that was already in discussion from 10 years, 15 years back. Now it has been released. So don't think that something is coming out of the blue. So even which we are using now, things that were being discussed like 15, 20 years back. Now it's being released to the world. So those kind of skills, programming, you never stop learning. So IT is one thing you have to be very clear. You never stop learning. And I also learned it the hard way. Like I used to be thinking like, okay, I've got into the IT, and now I've got a good job, and I'm able to perform. But after a few years, 6 years, 7 years, I learned, okay, this is gonna get extinct now. So something is new. So nothing to be scared about. The more important thing here is like when something new comes, so it will always be relative. Like it's not gonna be like you have to start from the side, because you are into the IT, or when you go into IT, you have that experience. Like, for example, when you grow, you are from the school or the college, right? So when you go to the 7 to 8, 8 to 9th grade or 10th, or when you go in the first graduation. So at that time, you're carrying all the backlog or whatever you learned from the previous years. So it's not something that you're learning now. Then lastly is the web developer. These guys do the fancy job, or the one which you all see in your screen. Like for example, this page is the which you're seeing, it's all fancy. So they developed all the front end which we got this. So they make all nice little visuals, nice little fancy colors, graphs and all. So these are web developers. They are actually interacting with the system and understand what it is. And as their skills also reward them with good entry level salary. You can see like 75,000. Most of the jobs which are in demand, or which people like to do, is the development or the front end kind of job. And yeah, there are a couple of more. So business analyst and software tester. So business analyst is one of the terms, or it doesn't sound like an IT, and because the name also says business analyst. So here you don't need technical skills, but you do need functional knowledge. So when we say functional, like if you are doing a business analyst for say uh, insurance company, so you need to know about an insurance, like how insurance works, how the business works. What if they are investing into a project, for example, a car company. So if they are trying to build a product, say Tesla, here we heard a lot about Tesla. So if they want to, the Elon Musk or the investor, they need to know if there is a value in that product. So business analysts, they do all the investigation or the market research. How much is the value for this product? If they invest, how much do can we get the return, and whether it's gonna be good for them. And at the same time, there are two worlds here. Business. One is the technical world who's going to develop the car, and one who's going to invest. And they are going to be investing about. They're going to say we need this, we need this kind of color, we need this kind of a design. So, but the technical world, they speak language A, but the business world, they speak language B. So when these two different communities try to engage, they cannot communicate because they have different terminologies and they have different terminology. So that's where the business analyst comes. So it's similar to say when you go to a court or say in a trial, right? If a criminal he is from a different country, say Russia or say Serbia. I'm just giving an example. Okay? So he may not know English, but what about the person, the judge and all and the lawyer, they speak English. So how do they understand? That's where the translator kicks in, right? He comes in and he explains that he asks the questions what the judge asked and he translates. So that's what in an analogical way, the business analyst. He translates everything, he documents it, and he explains to the technical team. And he is the one who is like postman. So this is what happening, this is what now happened, and like how the news reporter gives the updates of the progress, that's what the business analyst does. And so software testing is somewhere after the developer does when we say developer with data analyst, they build the program. Somebody has to test it, right? For example, even if a car is built, so they do test, they do robot test, they do manual test. So even when we are trying to buy a car, we usually want to do a test drive. We feel we have the input that okay, this is there is seems to be something wrong with the brake, like it's making some noise. When you put the foot on the pedal and it does not go at the same speed, the steering is not. So that's what the separate testing is. They check all the links, each and every corner of the page, if it's broken, everything, and then they come up with the document that this is what is the report. And that is pretty much the software testing. As it involves it's very important. They have to be really thorough because if something is broken and they put it live and then somebody else is, so it's a very bad image for the company. So software testing is a very important job and accountable. So that's why the salary also you see has pretty good numbers. So now is the training part where I will introduce my next brother, Brother Iqbal. He is a terrific Java developer and he is in Infosys and he's creating fireworks right now in the company with a lot of tremendous problem solving and very high visibility app, which is for foreign exchange and something. I don't want to give too much; it's classified, but let's introduce Brother Iqbal.
Brother Iqbal.
Jazakallah. Salam. Yeah. Hope you are awake.
We are.
Okay. So, as brother, yeah. So as brother Ishad and other demonstrated you how to get into the IT. So there are different kinds of fields available in IT, and along with the degree, most of the time you think that to get into the IT you require specific kind of degree, like you should be an engineer, you should have some knowledge or some graduation degree like in the science stream, but that is the not case. Even if you don't have any degree, you can get into the IT. So there are different streams available in IT. So how can we get into IT? So these are the 10 jobs based on our knowledge and the research we have listed these jobs. So in these jobs, they don't require any kind of degree. They just you can have the basic understanding of the like as other mentioned the basic algebra and all those things. If you have, you can get into that. The first is and your computer support specialist is there. So for computer, then the junior data analyst, help desk, the computer programmer, web developer. These are the some jobs we listed. So now, if we consider the first one, computer support specialist, so what it is? So every software development, it is work on the computer system. Like they have some set of softwares they require to write a code, to run the code. If there is some issue in those softwares, so these computer support specialists get take care of it and get that fixed and create an environment for them for to develop a software, to test the software. This is the one, the junior data analyst, as Brother Isha mentioned, is basically deals with the data. So you just take a data in the Excel format, you massage the data, and whatever the specific report you want to generate, you just get it and share it across our required. And the help desk analyst, these are the kind of the frontier guys who sits and interact with the people, like say in the when you visit any firm on the front desk, so whoever the guy you first met, these are the front desk specialist guys. So you can just interact with them, get the details about the what the firm you're visiting, and then if you want the appointment or you want to meet someone in the firm, you can deal with them. Then the computer programmer. So the computer programmer basically there are different languages like Java, .NET is there. Then there are database scripting languages are there. So using any kind of languages, you just what you do, you just write a code and as per the requirement, you develop the software. Okay, these are the computer programmers, and these are the three job listed. To get into these, whatever the listed jobs, you definitely, let's say, you want to become a chef, so you cannot directly go in kitchen and start cooking. Okay, someone there should be there to instruct you how you start cooking, what are the steps required, what are the basic requirements for cooking. Like that, IT has the, if you consider data analytics job, so what basic details required for the start with the data analytics. So you need to go through some sort of training, some sort of certification. You need to go through it. So there are bunch of courses available online to start with the data analytics or to start with cloud developer and AWS also. So what you can start with, like you just search for anything. There are the list of courses. You just based on the reviews, you can check it how the quality of the course is, whoever the work, how much members watched it. Then you can just go through the course and start learning it. The cloud developer, cloud. Nowadays, cloud is a big era. Okay, everything going on the cloud. Everything wants the unlimited space. Everyone wants unlimited. Even you click the photos on your phone, there is a cloud available to store the photos. So the how the cloud system works, you can just go to any certification or any free course available. There are lots of free course available. It's not like you have to be paid for any course. On YouTube, if you go, there are bunch of courses available for it. Okay, and the AWS architect. So AWS is basically when you develop any software to make it run to accessible to the world. Let's say I have developed one software. How you can access that software? It need to be present somewhere on the internet or on the network, right? So the AWS provide that environment or that backend software how so that whatever the program or the software I develop, they make it run, you can access it. That is the AWS. So for these three courses, like we just listed 6 months, 4 months, these are in months you can learn it and you can start your IT career. Next.
That's all I think.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So for these, where do you set online or you have to like what do you set?
Pardon?
Where do you take this course? Is it online or in person?
Yeah, these are the online courses.
Yeah, so
I mean, it depends. Like, for example, if you have AWS, right? Amazon has it on their webpage itself, like what steps you have to go through and then get certified. But for the training, like brother said, if you go to YouTube, a lot of people, there's a lot of training. For
Amazon
example,
too
Google,
provides.
so you gotta go. You can find, you Google that, you go to like,
Yeah, so the Google is the, or the data analysis, the Google course is available. It's free. Again,
All right.
Yeah.
We'll open up for questions, or
if any questions you have.
We'll open up for questions before we open up. I just want to end it with a note, probably. So, like, very, very good question asked by Brother Hassan, definitely. And Jazakallah khair Iqbal for helping us understand. These are some sample quotes. Like Brother Hassan asked a very, very important question. And in the beginning, when I explained that where we stand, what we are going to provide, we have a resource repository. It's a PDF where these courses are outlined and where you should learn them. So I've spoken to a couple of people who've been starting with AWS Architect or who've been starting with data analytics or anything. They've been reading or listening any any YouTube course, and that's how we start. We don't know. We Google it and we found the first link. We see that there are 1 million views, 2 million views. Let's pick this up. Let's follow that YouTube course. But then there are many courses like so in this also there are multiple courses available, but based on the industry experts research, they have guided us like don't go with YouTube or go with Udemy or don't go with Udemy. Udemy is a platform which provides online courses with a very minimal cost, very less cost. Go with Coursera or probably don't do AWS cloud practice, very basic level course from any platform. Go directly to AWS. AWS has the best course. They themselves have designed a course to get into AWS architect or practitioner or whatnot. So those sort of information, and that same information is available. Like I said, that we're gonna provide a list of resources repository to everyone who's interested to learn data analytics, AWS cloud practitioner, programming, Python programming, AI engineer, whatnot, anything. There are a couple of courses that repository is gonna show. We are like here in Tampa, 100 odd expert IT graduates or IT engineers working into different companies, Pfizer, Citibank, Fidelity, whatnot. So with that note, I'll open up with the questions. If anyone has questions, like whether you have.
that's what I was about to ask this in regards to the question about the list. List of resource. I just need a list of resource. I'm a little further along. I found the employees. I need certification. I just need to work with A+ certification, cybersecurity certification. I'm trying to get as much free training as possible.
Definitely. Very good question. Let me just repeat the question. Brother said that the brother has scaled up himself with the self-learning. He's been through a couple of courses. He's specifically interested into cybersecurity. So he has done a couple of courses. Now he wants, and then there are different certification in one particular stream. He wants to get into cybersecurity. There are CompTIA A+ certification. The CompTIA is a company. Then there are different other companies who are providing cybersecurity certification. Which certification course I should opt for? And that's where we comes into picture. We said that do CompTIA A+ as a starter, and then go further from there. Cybersecurity has a different level. You can become a junior cybersecurity analyst, and then you can become probably an architect, a cybersecurity architect, solution engineer, and whatnot. So all that information is available in the resource, and probably we're gonna provide an email where you can email up in Brother Iqbal. Can you scroll back to the slide there? The email is just email us, and we'll send you the resource list. Just note down that email. You go further. Yeah. So this is the email ID. You just send an email and we'll share you the resource list. Once you're done with the resource, you have any doubt with the resource, just email us back. We'll set up a call one to one, or who those are not talking here, probably a little shy like me. Well, you can reach out to me separately, or any one of us, or email us. We'll do a Zoom call or a phone call without video because you can shy like me, and then we'll sort things out.
I'll ask a question.
Yeah.
Another thing is, you guys have a lot of mashallah grades, other students, but a lot of them are international. And a lot of companies don't hire or want to hire international. So what do you suggest to international students?
So how we do these days? I usually use my resources and I talk to anyone. I tell them that, are you looking for a job? He says yes. What visa you're into? Absolutely. All right, you're on a F1 visa probably. Then there are companies, what they do is they specifically go for freshers. And then they look for an F1 visa. They have a work permit of couple of years, is what I have learned from them. 2 years or 3 years. And then that's where the company hires them on an F1. And then if they perform in 1 year, they convert them into H1. That's how the process has been across IT industry. They hire F1 freshers, but they like fresh brains. They're probably bringing some good things on board, and that's how they've been doing it for every international student. I've met a couple of students. I've referred them into my organization, my previous organization. I've met a couple of whom I was mentoring them as they got hired as a F1 fresher candidate, and then probably 6 months they scheduled me. They performed well, and then the company filed the H1B a specialist visa for them, and then we go in the career. Yes.
So like a lot of companies and stuff are saying like, come back to the office, like less work from home. Do you know if like the Tampa area and stuff is like a good area for IT, or would be generally looking like further outward, like California area and stuff?
So this is some personal answer probably. I don't like to bind myself to the location. I believe in the opportunity, and then I make my own world there probably. But definitely, Tampa is home. Tampa has like a lot of good stuff here, and Muslim community is superbly well out here. Everyone would like to stay here. There are many companies. I think one of the famous market research companies is Nielsen, which is in Clearwater. I've got friends there. Nielsen and IOI, they provide world-class level point of sales data to retail data to, let's say, political data, judgmental data, and that is one of the company in my list. And there are Ashley Furnitures here for IT. There are many companies in Tampa, and I think people are moving to Tampa, and the IT companies are also coming into Tampa. I've seen a couple of posts on LinkedIn as well. Microsoft is hiring in Tampa, Accenture is in Tampa, those consulting firms definitely in Tampa. Miami has a lot of opportunities. They've got a couple of companies. So in Florida, it's growing. So there is a lot of opportunity within Florida. Orlando has Disney. I've seen many posts for data engineer, data analytics manager, director, starters, like freshers. There are opportunities for them. So yes, to answer you, but don't keep your horizons small.
Are the most of the jobs though, do you think they're hiring for in office or hybrid, or is it still like a lot of remote hiring?
At the moment, it's more or less hybrid, but definitely it's gonna go down all the way to full time coming to office. But at the moment, I think nobody is thinking to convert it to full time. Everybody is like hybrid or work from home. I myself working from home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you are a fresher, right, you should be open to it. That's how things start. From a personal experience. Then I moved all around here when I was a degree. So if you are just starting, be ready to don't restrict yourself that I want to stay here. And then your options will be good with it.
Definitely. Just
And beginners, for example, I'm the manager. I got like 4 to 5, like 4 to 15. I work 5 guys. We don't prefer any newcomer to be in the month. They have to be on site. So that's the most common understanding within the company. Any fresher because you need to get acquainted with the business processes. So we prefer to come on site at least 2 to 3 years.
Just to add to brother says, remote is very fancy for the anybody because we are sitting here at the back of our sofa and working. It seems fancy, but it is for the ones who have been there and done that.
Experience.
Exactly. So because the ones who are learning, you need help. You're gonna need help every minute. Not necessarily you may be self-motivated. It's not about motivation or self. It's about there are certain things like, for example, if you go in a kitchen, right? If you don't know where salt or where the groundnuts are or where the rice is, because you're going the first time, you ask your mom, or your sister, right? Whoever is doing that daily. Similarly, even if you are doing your IT work or any job, you need help. So that's where the colleagues here nearby, anyway, they will support you. They help you. Okay, go there. This is the one where you need to look. This is who you need to help. Because it's not that like one man team or even if your team is there, your team also going to be relying on somebody else. For example, even if you are in a house, you need electricity, you need water. So all the different departments you connect to. Right? For food, you go to grocery. For laundry, you have washer and dryer. So similarly, in IT, there are different environment departments. So as Amazon Web Service, which our brother said, right? So that is a platform service where you store your application. That is for a platform. Similarly, for deployment, there is a team. Like when we say deployment, you make a code, so you can only build the code. You cannot put it in an application server. There is a different team doing that. And if you need to access something, so for example, when you are creating an account in Facebook or in YouTube, so there's a team who does an access to it. So everything there's a team. So you need help. So that is why who's to contact you don't know, right? So that is where it's preferred to come into the industry and work with on-site. That's where help will be immediately available. Because for everything, you're not going to pick up the phone and ask. That's going to be irritating for the manager as well as for you. You're not going to pick up everything or not. So whether you stay here nearby, you learn, and then after a few years, that's where the remote process.
And also it's your self-development. You need to be a team player. You can't just work in a solo team. Right? So that's your learning curve as well. So it is recommended you go on site if you're starting. Somebody more experienced, they know how to do everything. That's okay. Fine. But beginner, on site.
Yeah, brother.
What is the difference between data analytics and data scientist?
It's a good question. Data analytics and data scientist. Okay. So data analysts basically analyze the available data and then bring some inference out of it and then present it to business. And then they make decision on the basis of it. They make basically a decision on top of it. Data scientist is basically, it's a big term. I think I'll touch up a little bit. Data scientists basically define the decisions and say that these are the decisions. Go take it. Don't have to look at the decisions which data analyst has designed and things. So it's an interlinked role. Data analytics may massage data, may prepare some beautiful charts, and then the managers, strategy managers, they look at it and then they define it. Data scientists basically runs algorithm, mathematical calculations, and then come up with the forecasting number. Okay. All right, probably this year our sales will be this much. So go, this is your target. In a nutshell, it's a longer term. It's gonna need probably a longer session, but yeah, that's how it is. But that's how the journey is. You can become directly a data scientist. You can become directly a data analyst. Or you can start from slow, become BI engineer, all the way up to data analyst, and then jump to machine learning and data scientist.
Closely linked. Because the data engineer, data scientist, data analyst. These are all interrelated. It's not like a grade or like overlook each other. So sometimes data engineers may do a little bit of data analysis, so then data analysts may do data engineering sometimes. So it's interrelated. Researchers over each other. But data scientist is more like
Data modeling.
yeah,
Data model.
and also it's more tech driven. Data analyst is more like a number crunching where he at the front end side he's always showing up, he's using those tools. So data scientist is working on those tools and giving us those tools to process the data. So it's more of a back end than he's sitting at the back end, doing all the setup. Like for example, he's speaking, He's doing all the number crunching, all those processing and doing it.
What are the requirements to be a student?
Data analyst. A data analyst, as we said at the beginning, so mostly if you want to look at the very basic thing for data analyst, you start with the Excel. It's the most primitive stage when you want to work. If you're good at Excel, then once you start with Excel, then Microsoft has given another product called Power BI, which is like a cousin of Excel. So if you are able to do anything good in Excel or anything report, so you want to do something fancy, right, or something more elaborative, something more because Microsoft Excel is pretty, I wouldn't say bland, but it's very initial stage. When you want to go advanced, the higher level, you want to go like pro level. So that's when Power BI came in, and there are different vendors in the market. You have heard that Tableau, so then MicroStrategy. All these are different. There are multiple vendors. It's not just one or two, but most of the people only know about these two things. We give us more. There are more tools to work with. Basically.
Everybody is a data analyst. Everybody. You're sitting here, everyone is. You guys spend money, right? You guys make an account or make a note of your money, right? And then you gradually think that, all right, as a student, I need $1,000 to spend every month because $500 is my rent, and then $250 is my eating budget, and then $250 is remaining $250 is what I do spend for commuting from here to there, and then $5, $10 every day I like to spend on gym or something or on smoothie, and that's how you make your budget, right? Now just take that budget and put it into Excel. Take that budget and extrapolate it for 1 year, and then extrapolate it for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, or don't extrapolate it. Go back. I am 35. When I was 25 to 35, how many dollars I have spent? Just think about it.
You don't need to know SQL
You need to know.
So it happens like this. First, you make up your mind that am I the right guy for data analyst? Do I have that mindset? How that mindset comes? Like I said, you make your monthly expense, or you probably make your trip expense that you're gonna travel to Chicago, California, and then this skills comes like I think this is our resource sheet where we have written that you need a SQL skills. Why? Ask the question. Why do I need it? If I am just starting up, I'm gonna play with the smaller data, then I might serve the purpose with Excel. But then, as you get into corporate, do I need a SQL skill? Yes, because the data is not Excel driven now. Now it's not 10,000 or 1 million records. It's gonna grow to 2 million, 5 million, 10 million. And then, would you be able to manually check all those 10 million? No. How will you be able to check it? Okay, yes, there is a language. I can do select star from blah 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 whatnot, right? And that's it. So rather than going there, do I need to learn Excel? Why do I need to learn SQL? Because the data is growing. Why these technologies keep on changing? Why they came? Because there is something has changed in the area in the world. Data started growing, and became a lot bigger. That's why. So don't learn it because the skill says. Learn it why there is need came, and then learn it. Then you will learn it with the need. When you learn it with the need, you will probably access. So,
we came late. Maybe my
no, you came on time.
okay.
You're asking the right question, brother.
Yeah.
I mean, to give a like summary too, for example, like if you want to be a data analyst, right? So there are different avenues. So you need to first understand like what you want, but you can choose the avenue to reach to that. Like for example, you have in the market SAS as well, right? SAS, R. These are all like data analytics languages. So how is that in the market, and where do you want to use it? Like you want to go into a pharmaceutical industry, you want to go into banking, or you want to go into whatever area. What motivates, right? So you have to pick that.
I have a degree how I'm going to stay. Now this,
Okay.
now you guys provide training or placement?
Yes, definitely. So touching on that, we've covered it. But what we do is we provide resources. These are the resources slide. If you scroll a little bit down, that you want to become a BI guy or analytics guy, you learn Power BI. You want to become a Tableau, or you want to learn data analytics, BI. You want to learn a specific tool which is level above Excel, which is Tableau. Learn Tableau. What are the skills required? Scope of the tag, and then a couple of links. Click on the beginner course, intermediate course, advanced course, free, available. Learn it and then pay for some certification, couple of dollars, and get certified. Tableau is like market leading tool. Power BI is like market leading tool. In specifically business intelligence, data analytics, even data scientists, they also use these tools. So these are the resource list where you can get to know about what is Tableau, scope of the tag, what skills are required, and then a couple of learnings. And then these tools, the best thing is that they give you a live project. So you build that project and you get along with it. So yeah, that's how it is. Any other questions? Whether you or I'll give you a format of the question.
Vishal.
Can you elaborate where are you going to have? Where are you going to provide?
Okay, definitely. Go back to the slide. Okay. Yeah, because scroll up. I think it's number 4 slide.
No.
Not this one. I think the other one. The other one. Meanwhile, brother, you can ask the question.
No, I mean, what I was asking is like, if we have time, I see a lot of people putting resumes here. So maybe we could go one by one and see what they are doing right now and what they're looking forward to. What area that they want to go into.
Definitely.
So that we know what the forum is, right? So
Correct.
we can understand what exactly.
Scroll up. You want to have?
Thank you.
Okay. So we are here identifying, and then we, like brother said, that what your interests are, what interests you in IT, whether nothing interests you probably. So right, we will talk, and then we'll figure it out together what interests you. We'll spend 30 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, a day, 2, and then we'll figure it out together. If you have just a deep interest, I want to get into IT because I like it. Why? I don't know. It's okay. That's where the counseling comes. And then we provide the resources. What courses you can opt for. We have industry experts. We've identified a couple of courses which are freely available on YouTube or a couple of other platforms like Data Camp, Coursera, Udemy, and others. And then you self-learn those courses, get certified, and then we meet again. That, hey, I got certified, I've learned a lot, and then we start talking, and I get the excitement. All right, you know stuff. Okay, let me connect you. Let me connect you to a couple of people whom I know in my circle, or probably let me pass your resume. Before passing your resume, let's go through with your resume. All right, your resume looks good, but let's do a little bit of tuning based on my understanding. You have to put some skills differently, explain your job description or your current experience, merge it with, and then we assist on job search, how to apply jobs on LinkedIn, how recruiter approaches a candidate out of like 1,000 candidates applied for one job. And then we also pass based on our contact, we refer people that hey, this job is available, you seem to be a right candidate. Let's apply for it, let's wait for interview, let's work together. I personally probably I've met a couple of guys who I refer them and help them that how to track the interview, say this, talk this, make your job description, make your introduction 2 lines, 2 minutes, 1 minute. Don't talk too much, don't talk less, all that stuff. And then that's from there you start your career journey. And then if your career journey you get stuck, you call me. Yes, brother.
A lot of time in interviews they ask about your practical experience, so like what projects you did and so forth. Do you have any recommendations on where to find a project? So, for example, say you get the certification and you get the technical skills and knowledge. How do you put that into a project that you can present to an interviewer?
Correct. All these courses, I usually tell them that don't read it like you're reading a book and in a day or two you finish it and you'll have a magic wand and you swing it and you get a job. So all these courses, basically how I would suggest people is do some projects on top of it. Now, how to do those projects? Where do I get them? Once you start learning them, you start understanding it, that there are platforms now. Google has provided a platform for data analytics, data science, machine learning. The platform named as Kaggle, Kaggle. Kaggle. Ample amount of data sets, real-time data sets. The famous data set I can remember is the Titanic data set. How many people are going to die and then survive? They are predicting that how many people have survived. Those examples. And then I had a friend back in India who used to work in his father's hotel. And then he wanted to apply for a job in IT. And then he applied, he learned all those courses, and when it comes to asking for, do you have a practical experience? He explained the hotel industry. He explained that how I manage the account. My father used to manage the account in the books, notebook writing up and doing all that stuff later in the day, and every month he was closing the book and by pen and paper, and he created an Excel, and then on top of it he created a account management tool in some small, very, very basic language, HTML or any language. It all depends that are you aware of IT, how you can relate and explain or communicate what you have done. So that's the answer. And then definitely the live projects you do, you can explain that. Yes, you can add.
So, I mean, for beginners, I understand, like, they ask, like, okay, what have you done? For beginners, if you are good in the technical stuff, you know what you're talking about on your resume, what you have provided, and you're talking about your defending that, sometimes they take easy on that. If you're a beginner, what you might have done project-wise, it's okay, as long as you're studying what you're talking from, whatever you have listed. But for projects, I mean, when they connect with people, and when you talk to them, they might give you some insight into how the real-time projects are. So maybe you could just get an idea. That's right.
I can add some of points.
Definitely.
Inject some about the experience. I found this very helpful.
You can come here so they can hear you.
Oh,
Yeah.
I feel like it's very helpful if we just go like a non-profit organization, just going to KMC or library or somewhere to ask them, hey, I will do some freelancing to build up your website. That's how I found very helpful. You can put it on the profile, in the portfolio, on your resume that, okay,
People
I
are
do
having
this and
hard to
this.
listen here. You have to come here and
Oh.
come, brother.
So I'll start speaking.
Yeah. It's
That's a
okay.
good idea.
I'll give you a chair.
Yeah.
Sit here and talk. If you want.
Okay. Someone who wants to start. Okay, from my previous experience, I participate in some hiring process and everything. I just see there's pros and cons to how people interact, and I found it very helpful. Like it's not a background. Someone has never even. I can tell that they never even. There's no way nearby match with the resume. But I found that when they added to the portfolio that they have some experience in freelancing, like non-profit organization, KMC. So if you just go, everybody using computer, no matter what. You have to find a way that how you can make that as your own project to convert to your resume. That build your own. It's not a rocket science. I don't think you just say, okay, I will build up your website. If you have a skill you put on the resume, you give database, you give HTML, you give the website, all this. Just do it in non-profit. Anybody, just go to your friend's store or just walk by, gas station. Say, okay, I want to build up your this. I used to do that. I have a couple of friends. We plan doing, walking to the gas stations and say, hey, we're going to build your app apps, we're gonna build this system, that was back then. So I found that's where you can learn a lot of communication, how the business looks at you, how who are the main players, how the IT get into it. So it is just just talking. That's what I found. Because when you have that conversation, you feel more comfortable. So and when you go to the interview, then you are realistic. You're speaking, your technical jargon. You're making your normal conversation to technical jargon because then you're not going to be overwhelming. So making it's not a big deal. It's just like I'm in the field almost 18 years. It's like all different domain. I see the different all. I really don't learn new things every day. That's my opinion. But I just make sure that I know what's is going on in the market. How talking to like this. I learned a lot of things today. So I can easily make my resume also like this is my experience. That some I picked up the words or some from some Excel BI tools. So I can make it as a BI tools. Only takes me 10 minutes to learn what's a BI tool because the big difference before and now. Before the tools was very expensive, 20 grand, 100 grand. Now is open source. So there's no tools barrier that you can learn. It's all about the intention and do I really want to learn, and makes the product your own and convert to the resume. I think that's good enough for it. That's my point.
Like brother said that we have some resume. Anyone would like to share? I can go to share 75.
Yeah, I mean,
Don't want to
just
bring
give an introduction what you're doing now and where you're looking for.
printed very good. Let me take a look.
Sure, let's start the mic as well. Let them talk.
Yeah, definitely.
You can start here.
I don't think I need the mic. For all of it.
For all of them.
Yes, so I'm Tahmid Ahmed. I am a senior studying computer science in USF. I'm scheduled to graduate May 2024, and I've been programming over 5 years now, and I'm currently working 3 jobs. I'm doing part-time. The main thing I'm doing right now is part-time as a software engineering co-op at UPS. Where I get to work with backend development mostly, but in the dev team, where I'm tasked to improve and build systems to improve the productivity at UPS software architecture. Other than that, I'm an undergraduate research assistant, but my main task over there is to facilitate the research by developing softwares that can help get data from. It's basically social computing research lab. So they look at the social behavior in the society and try to get data from them. And I'm tasked to build products that can help them. So that's my second job, and my third job is a teaching assistant, where I help students learn programs. Other than that, I have a few project experience, but mostly in full stack development and mobile application development.
practitioner certificate, and I'm currently pursuing the solution architect certificate. And aside from that, I have experience. I'm a undergraduate research assistant also at USF. So for my research, it involves NLP and artificial intelligence. Also, I have projects using full stack developments that you can see here, and my hobbies are also doing problem solving in lead code and other stuff. And I also joined some hackathons, hackaboos, and I also went to ICPC competitive programming contests. Yeah. Thank you.
Would you like to throw some light? What is lead code?
Okay, so LeetCode is like a coding problem-solving platform where you can practice with the language that you want to use for your career. So if you want to sharpen up your skills and problems, all kind of algorithms and stuff, that's the moment you need to practice on LeetCode so that you understand okay, how can I use this concept on this problem, and how can it be beneficial for you to solve problems in the real world. Yes, of course. Many interview questions that the recruiter asks are majority of them are from lead codes and stuff.
What are the companies which look for lead code question, or what are the companies you get if you crack lead code questions? Are they big companies like Facebook? Interview questions are available?
I mean, yeah, in lead code there's even a category for Amazon, Facebook, Google, Twitter, other. I mean, you can find all of the big companies in the lead code categories also. So yeah.
So do you have a basic experience or understanding of programming, or you are a programmer, and now you want to try for an interview? Do you suggest a candidate should at least try lead code before?
Yeah. I mean, if the student, if the candidate wants to get into the programming jobs, they have to practice some coding skills, and LeetCode is the best platform for that.
Because there are many other platforms
Yeah.
similar to LeetCode, but LeetCode is scaling up.
Mhm.
So it's, I think, the best one.
Yeah, true. Exactly.
Nothing like that.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Abdurrahman bin Sharif. I'm also a senior major in computer science at USF. My experience over the last 2 years, I have interned in 2 companies. One was in Bangladesh, and the last summer, as in this summer, I have worked at the Estee Lauder companies in New York City. It was in Long Island City. And over there, I have worked as a full stack software engineer, both front end, back end. I've also actually worked on more than one project. The other one was with Microsoft engineers. It was on OpenAI GPT models. We were utilizing them to extract data and then utilizing them for the stakeholders of the company. Other than that, I've also done some personal projects. I've attended competitive coding competitions, hackathons on campus, and also one in Georgia Tech. I'm also a member at the Society of Competitive Programming at USF, the SHEP, and the NESB communities. That's from this meeting. I'm hoping. Yeah. I'm expecting that I'll be guided towards roles that I'm actually interested in through this session. Although over the internship, like we used to interact with other interns and the projects that they're working on, and I had I would say an idea of the different roles, like data analyst, data scientist, even project management roles too. And I figured that I personally enjoy software engineering the most. It's less number of meetings. I mean, the stand-ups are there, but still. I would say through this session, I guess I had a more insight of like how people like break into IT. I feel like it depends from person to person though. Some people just start early. Some start into college. Some don't even go to college. Um, Other than that, like I started when I was in high school. I was just like doing. I started off with Python because it's pretty popular. And then even in college courses too, we start off with Python, then move our way to C programming, C++. The web development stuff is mostly self-taught, self-learned, and actually, these stuff you don't exactly even need courses. You can even go through resources because GitHub has like all kinds of open source projects. Even like something you can think of like, okay, what if I wanted to build a website that just generates recipes, and like googling it up, it was seen that people already have algorithms set up, and I guess looking into different kinds of projects, running them on your own, it does widen your horizons and actually makes you feel like, okay, this might be something that I actually want, or this is just not something that I enjoy. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum. So my name is Rashad. I'm a PhD student in mathematics at USF. So like I'm planning to get into industry. So when I search online, I see data scientist positions are like most suitable for like a mathematics PhD student. But like I don't have much background in programming, but I'm currently learning Python. And for my research, like I use Julia programming language. So yeah, I'm trying to get guidance from different people in these industries. And so that's why I'm here to get to know more about data scientist positions and what more skills I need to learn to get into the data scientist industry. Yeah.
Good to have you here, brother. But I opened this slide just because of you. You see the first ranked job, everybody? You see the first ranked job? Yeah, I can. Yeah, you see the first ranked job, actuaries. I didn't knew about it, to be honest, when I was making this data. I researched it and I figured out that those PhD in mathematics, they're earning the most. And why? Because everything boils down to math. I think these data scientists, machine learning, AI, ML, all those, a lot of math used, algebra to be specific, integration, differentiation. I never knew that integration, differentiation, which I have learned in my metric, or it's going to be used in programming, but it is. So definitely there are ample amount of job, and you doing PhD, probably, definitely it will help you to get into data science, AI, machine learning and whatnot. But yeah, this is the topmost job where you know math, you are a major, you're the king. So and it's not that only you know math, but definitely if you're doing PhD and all, yes. I've got sister's resume as well. I'm gonna take a look and probably definitely will find something up. But yeah, do email us with your specific requirements and information, what you want to learn, or you've learned, you want to get into IT, you need some referrals. Can I have contacts? Like I said, we have a community of more than 100 people whom I can pass the resume, get you interviewed, and inshallah you'll get a job. Yeah, brother. So, yes, sure. You want to take the mic? All right, I'll repeat the question, probably I'll understand. QA. Definitely. So let me just repeat the question probably. For QA, how to start the career? Because what sister says is that for QA, whereas she sees the job as like 3 to 4 years of experience, and getting into or breaking the QA role, you might need some experience. Definitely, everything. So as a hiring manager, I don't want to hire a fresher if I'm hiring for a project which is very well versed and it's stable. But there are projects which are getting started from scratch, and on the journey, team do need fresh brains to look at it and then get you started. So there are opportunities, maybe less, but definitely opportunities for freshers to start as a manual tester. So QA, lower as a manual tester. And then there are some tricks and tips, like you find a bug in Google or in Facebook, you report that bug to Facebook. Facebook sends you a check. Thank you so much for making us accurate. So it depends on how curious you are, but definitely there are fresh openings for QA roles or for any roles. They do hire, train people up to take them up to the speed, and then you start from there. Inshallah, we will refer you some roles, and then we'll start it from there. But brother, you want to say your okay. Any other questions? You guys are doing well.
So you won't be able to help to refer, like the referral contact, the referral.
Yeah, I do have a couple of contacts. Definitely, like I said, there will be a brother of 100 people in the community. I circulate the resume across, and wherever they have an opening, they can refer. And then the first thing I say that if you're looking for a job, if you're so hungry for the job, find a job on LinkedIn, send it to me, that job. I'll find a contact, I'll get you interviewed. That is the easy way, because you know yourself better. You see the job, you read the description, you see oh, all right, I think it's somewhat 70% match or 50% match. All right, how to make it to 100% match? Okay, you do the preparation on the other side, I'll help you out, and then I'll circulate the resume to my contacts in that particular company. That's one way. The other way, send me resume. I'll circulate your resume based on your role, current role, or your interest, and that's how we start. It might be slow. Sometimes it happens like you keep on applying and you get a response. Thanks for applying. You are a great candidate. You're an amazing candidate. But unfortunately, we are going ahead with another candidate. Don't fall in that trap. Keep applying. Consistency is the key. Keep applying. Apply 5 jobs a day. Applying. You'll get an interview. You'll fail in one interview, 2, 3, 4, 5. You collect the questions from those interviews where you failed. You have 40 interviews. 11th interview you give. You have those 40 questions. You'll crack it. Trust me. That's how everybody does. You'll crack it. So keep applying. Keep applying. Netflix. Keep applying. You'll get 1.2 million. Definitely, inshallah.
You remind me of one of my colleagues. What he did, he hired from out of the country. Time zone difference. So all he was paying like $5. So all his job is just apply overnight. In the morning he find all the contacts, like set up in the interview, and it worked. And I know him for a long time. And that's remind me that took applying. So all he was doing just hired someone to $5 just to apply. Yeah, he used to, yeah, he does.
Definitely, yeah, we are interested.
But the only one thing, he doesn't stay at the same company for a long time. He just jumps.
The one who can apply.
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
I learned that from. I said, wow, if I ever need it, definitely I will do that.
There's one more stream added. Job applier in IT. $5 a job.
And one more thing I would like to add is like, consider yourself like a product. You need to know how to market yourself. You need to know how to sell yourself. So that will lead to the So if you just there, full of knowledge, not able to communicate like brother said in the beginning, no, it's not going to work. You need to sell yourself. You need to learn.
Correct, correct. Yes, brother. Walaikum. So, for the time being, take out this. I missed it. I'm sorry. You'll have to come forward and say, Assalamu alaikum.
I mean, wherever he's applying, I mean, mostly he's applying for government jobs, and that needs clearance, right? So that's where he's getting, yeah, so that's where he's not going through. What his question is.
But basically, your interest is in cybersecurity, right? So how I do is, I am a very, very, very low basic guy. I don't want to touch sky in one go. I don't want to touch sun. I will. I am firm. But I start with the very basic, very simple. In cyber security, keep applying in like the basic minimum wages job. Don't join it. My target is to touch the sky. But keep applying it so that you gain experience. What questions are asked, how they're doing, what type of questions are coming these days, what is the industry. So you start getting interviews, couple of. And then let's say I think you don't have a prior experience, or maybe you don't have a prior experience in IT also. Maybe you have. I don't know. You have. You don't. All right. So relate with your prior experience wherever you are. How cyber security can match up with your prior experience, where it can get fit in. Maybe you are in a manufacturing company, but that do they need a data security, cyber security? Yes, everybody needs these days. And that's where probably you can relate and you say that's where my interest started getting into cyber security. When you connect the dots and then explain your job, probably magic happens. Probably your resume, I might have to see your resume. That's where I said that we'll probably take a look at the resume, and then I can guide you that, all right, brother, you probably have to modify your resume and make it more meaningful by saying that why I got into IT or cyber security. I was in the manufacturing, but I related this, and that's how I ended up gaining interest in cyber security. Probably recruiter will read it through, he will understand that, all right, these are the ladders you climbed, this is the link. That link may be missing, that you were in manufacturing, you jumped into cybersecurity because you wanted to get into cybersecurity, there is no link. So that link we'll just have to connect the dots. Inshallah, you'll get some, and then definitely send your resume, we'll find some referrals, we'll get you interviews, we'll set up some mock interviews, how the questions are asked. We'll send you some blogs, probably what is going in the cyber security market, send some videos, how things are in cyber security.
I think I have something worse. We're trying to get inside. So I think it's in Kenya. They have like some clearance requirements. So I think it's state by state. They have different companies.
Okay.
So I think I have to search it and see what this company clearance is. What's like, because they just because there are some jobs are high, like the government ones.
Correct.
Security is very like, so that's what I think. I think if
Correct.
Correct. I've seen some on federal government or probably federal FBI, cybersecurity. They need like, wow, so much clearance. But don't apply there. Huh? Start with basic IT companies to gain some experience and then go from there. You guys are talking. You have any questions? No, you got. I know. I saw your resume. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
This is like training right now. They're presenting, selling themselves.
Yeah. You could stand there.
Yeah, you can stand there.
Take a podium.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm a junior computer science student at USF. I have experience doing full stack development, and I'm more so interested towards backend development now having done full stack development. I have some experience doing, I have a tech lead position in like, at a club. It's called the Google Developers Club at USF, and so I help freshman students who come in and sophomores to like get them into like having some projects, because computer science it's a field that you require projects to get in. Like whenever you're applying for any job, even though like you might have the degree, but you can't get the job unless you can prove that you do have some practical experience. Apart from the Google Developers Club, I don't have any work experience, but I do have a lot of projects that I've worked on, and which have been beneficial to the school community as well as the developer community. I recently made a web application that has helped students at USF to help making their scheduling a lot easier by sort of automating the process and using algorithms to make it a lot easier. I'm currently looking for software engineering intern positions to get into to the industry, and yeah, that's about it. Yeah. Thank you.
Inshallah, brother. Inshallah. We'll get through it. You guys are doing good in USF, but one thing I would like to contribute to you guys, if you're helping them out in USF, are you helping outside USF as well, those who are interested, like anyone, like brother was saying that he, or sister was saying that she is not getting, or brother asked that he doesn't have a project experience. So you guys are helping them up, or are you thinking of helping them up to get some project practical experience, or you just do it on the USF side? Basically USF side.
Yeah, just mostly, USF side, because it's the club is sort of for USF students. So, but yeah.
But is there any opportunity, like anyone from outside non-USF can get that benefit, or USF has something like, not in USF, but you can contribute towards?
I mean, like I think Abdurrahman mentioned open sourcing and finding projects to contribute on. That's a way to like get some projects. That's like one of the best ways to actually contribute and get a project. But I'm sure there are different things. There are different platforms that are out there for non-USF students as well. But you just need to look.
Perfect. Like you're doing PhD from USF. You can get connected with these guys. They can help you get the project, right? Correct. And that's how we meet, right? I met you guys. I'll be bothering you much. Whomsoever I get from India or any country, they want to do some course in USF, they need a guide. You guys are there, right? Help them out. Okay, any other questions? Yeah. You guys might have received that contact form, a Google form. Have everyone filled that Google form? You submitted? On paper.
Just circulate a paper where they can write their contact information, name and contact, like email and.
Here.